Good evening. It's October 7th, 2022, and we're here at Fitzpatrick Stadium for football action between the Marshwood Hawks and your Portland Bulldogs. I'm here with Dave Levine tonight, and also Mike Hoffer from the Forecast for the Portland Plus Herald. Let's start first about talking about Marshwood. They're coming off of 4 straight state championships, including beating Portland in the regional final last year when Portland was undefeated in 10-0.
And let's not think for a minute that Portland doesn't remember that, but Marshwood loves coming to Fitzpatrick Stadium. Fitzy has been very kind to the Hawks. Not only did they win that regional final here last year, they came back the next week and beat Wyndham in the state game. This isn't a typical Marshwood team if you look at their record, but they've played some good teams. I still would not write them off. I would never write an Alex Rotzko coach team off. They are 2-3. They've had some tough losses against really good teams, but I think you're going to see them finish strong. And I think both teams, even though they're both 2-3, and it's funny to say, in my mind, I think they're still 2 of the favorites in this region. But Marshwood's very tough on both sides of the ball. They haven't been as strong defensively as in other years, so maybe there are some things that Portland can exploit tonight, but never write off the Hawks. Don't ever do it.
And Coach McLeod is coming into this game. He tells us they really jacked up about this game.
Yeah, they are. They had this circled for a year now, and it's almost a year to the day that they lost their aspirations for that perfect season and for that state championship. They're having a little struggles this year, but they've revamped the offense a little bit. They've moved Kennedy Charles into the quarterback position, which is a little bit different. He is a very big running threat. So my guess is they're going to put their 3 best athletes in the backfield and let them have it.
Well, it's great to see that the Bulldogs improvise. I mean, Sam Esposito was really looking forward to this year. Had a very season-ending injury early on, but the Dogs move onward and upward. And tonight we have purple and white, but it's not Deering. It's the Marshwood Hawks versus your Portland Bulldogs. All the action will be in a moment. So here we go. The Bulldogs get ready to break the banner. I have to use my binoculars here, Dave, to see what it says, but Bulldogs cannot be held responsible for something. For probably doing something to the Hawks. Who knows?
Bulldogs cannot be responsible for ruffled feathers.
Very clever. I mean, you could see the Bulldogs, a little bit of the walking wounded, not a huge amount of depth. So, you'll see a lot of two-way players tonight.
Yeah, they're really banged up right now. I mean, you lost your starting quarterback. You're now moving a wide receiver into the quarterback position. So there's a lot of moving parts right now for this Bulldogs team, and they're just gonna give it all they have with the numbers that they have and see what they can do.
That's terrific.
We welcome you to Portland High School and the historic game season at the Maine. Today's game between the Victory Hawks from Marshwood High School and our own Portland High School Bulldogs. Portland High supports the right of all student athletes, coaches.
Both teams are 2-3 starting this game, Steve, and they're both looking for that win. Marshwood, again, defending state champions, they're a team to beat, and as Mike said in the beginning, you can't count them out. Bulldogs really looked good last year. They were a game away from states. A big turnover on the roster, but they're going to come out. They're hungry. They had this one circled for almost exactly a year to the day.
And they split games last year as well. Portland beat the Hawks last year, but when it counted at the end, they just fell short. I think they lost 35-0, which is a very unusual game for that 10-0 team.
Yeah, they couldn't get anything going on offense. The Hawks had a great defensive plan. They were flying to the ball. They wouldn't let anything come out of the backfield at all. And then on offense, they just kept running outside and using their speed and size to outflank the Bulldogs defense.
We'll bring you back to kickoff in a moment. So as you can see, our rosters are pink tonight. The student section is dressed in pink. I think you said Twain, who is our, unfortunately, a senior with a torn ACL, in his prom suit tonight in pink. And my tie is in pink, and it's all really in honor of those who have survived breast cancer and in memory of those who haven't. And it gives us pause to think of those who have had breast cancer. And here we go now with the kickoff as number 5, Cochler, gets set to, well, actually it's a, let's see. Yeah, that was Saunders. On the right side.
Good return out to about the 34, 35-yard line. They need good field position. The Bulldogs' offense struggles a little bit to move the ball, so any little bit helps. We'll see what they can do moving up the field against as much what looks like larger Marshwood Hawks team.
Right, so it looks like we'll see Kennedy Charles in the shotgun. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. The dog. I'm trying to figure out whose uniforms are whose. The Dogs have the oddest colors.
Kennedy Charles up the outside picks up about 20 yards on a keeper. He just rolled around the right side, went behind that that offensive line, stayed behind the right tackle, and just kind of moved.
So we have a couple of players up here helping us on camera tonight. You have more than one color uniform here to this year? And are these your home uniforms, or is this just the special? Alternate. Nice. Okay, 1st and 10 from the 39. Charles in the gun. Hands it off. And a great effort by Regan Buck.
Picked up about 12, 13 yards on the outside, just kept picking his way around, waited for his blocks, which was nice. He didn't just cut it right upfield. He followed his blockers all the way around the edge and down inside the 30-yard line, now down to the 27.
So the chains are moved. It's 1st and 10 once again. The Dogs are on the move. The pitch is to Charles.
Broke a tackle.
Around end. So we had a technical difficulty there, and the Dogs really had, let's see, no gain on that. It's
second and goal from the 3.
Charles
with the keeper. Couldn't get a block on the outside.
And then he's driven out of bound by Ty Cochler. So it'll be 3rd and goal from the 3.
Justin Farnham for Marshwood really blew that play up. He came upfield very quickly and wouldn't let Charles turn the corner quicker.
So here we go. 3rd and goal. This is certainly 4-down territory here, but we'll see if the Dogs can push it in now. Charles goes up the middle. And I think he is stopped on about the 1.5-yard line.
Yeah, he got knocked back pretty good by Ty Cochler, right up the middle. They got a good push right off the bat, but they're still stuck at the 2-yard line.
Again, they're going to go for it.
The perfect position to pull out your best 2-point conversion play. And they're going to call timeout to talk this over, make sure they get it right.
So will we. With 9:22 left in the first quarter, the score is 0-0. So it's 4th and goal from the 1-yard line. They have about 1.5 yards to go. Charles up the middle, finds the hole. Does he get over? He does not.
No, he stopped at the 1.
So a great defensive stand by the Hawks. Of course, they're backed up all the way into their end zone, but my goodness, the Dogs could not capitalize.
Yeah, they tried running right behind Andrew Brewer there, and though we got a block up front, there was just too much other traffic in there for Kennedy to do anything. So this is where your Dogs defense has to step up, has to get a quick stop and force a punt. That was a great opening drive, and it went all for naught.
There's a scrum. I'm not sure there was much of a gain there.
Yeah, about 2 yards just to get a little bit of room for your punter if something happens.
So it'll be a second and about 8. Second and 7. He gets credit for 3 yards. Ball's on the 4.
St. Cyr under center again.
Nice defensive effort. Leading the charge there is number 25, Andrew Brewer.
Yeah, it was just a straight handoff to Emmanuel Poe, trying to go off left tackle just to get a couple more yards. They're out to the 6, which gives them, third and reasonable, but you're still in the back. It's going to be throwing out of your end zone, and you want to be very careful here. Turnover would be bad for Marshwood, great for the Dogs.
Third down and 5.
Well, it's a flag. It's going to...
False start, back them up halfway.
What a beautiful evening. It's in the mid-60s here, Dave, tonight.
Oh, it's very nice. A couple raindrops coming over. I was getting a little nervous.
So 3rd and 8 from the 3. Still under center is St. Cyr.
Third down and 8.
Handoff to the right side. Nice cut the other way, but nothing doing. Finally in on that tackle is number 70, Isaac Alkafaji.
Yeah, that was another Marshwood captain, Ty Kogler, bringing that out to make it 4th down and now 3, and the punt team is going to come on. So the Dogs did their job. They got the stop. They didn't let Marshwood get a first down. They're going to have to punt out of their own end zone. This is always a little tricky.
Well, we have a false start again. As I look at the roster, Marshwood is a very young team with only a few seniors. Well, they have about 7 seniors, but still a lot of sophomores and juniors in that team. They're laden with sophomores.
Yeah, their quarterback is a sophomore. They have 2 senior brothers who are running backs, but they have a junior wide receiver, a junior running back. They're very young. Good
That's
punt.
A nice kick. And it will be downed at about the 37 or so, where the Dogs will take over 1st and 10. Nothing is the score. 7:09 left here in the first quarter. Steve Schwartz and Dave Levine on WPPS TV3, bringing you all Portland High School home games this year. Next week, I will be joined by Dave Elowich as Dave Levine will be traveling to Carleton College in Minnesota to see your son, Ben Levine, in the number 1 offensive team in the country.
That's right, Steve.
Well, that's really, really fast on the outside. And nice effort by Buck rather.
Yeah, so Carleton College this year is started off the season 4-0. They have the number 1 ranked offense in the nation, including D1 schools. This little college, but this week is going to be their crosstown rival, St. Olaf, and this is the one game. If you want to win one, you always want to beat your crosstown rival. So this is it.
How fun! 2nd and 5, ball in the 30. Charles in the gun. 1 in motion.
Open.
Here we go. Great catch.
Little play action to Remy, going deep to Remy Joe down the left side. They faked the little pitch on the motion man, and that really drew the defense in, leaving Remy Joe to get over the top, and he just lobbed it up there, made sure he didn't overthrow him, threw it a little shorter, but Remy Joe made the catch, and it's down to the 4, and they're looking at first and goal again inside that in that really tight red zone.
That was a 26-yard grab by Remy Joe. And the Dogs are first and goal. Charles keeps it. This time, he fights hard down to the 1. He runs into a brick wall who's going to actually help him up. Number 70 is Riley Parnham.
Yeah, Riley Parnham's one of their defensive lineman studs for Marshwood, and we're going to be calling his name a lot this game. He plays all over that offensive line and all over that defensive line, and seems to be in the middle of every play.
And I give you credit because I'm looking right here at number 70 on my stat sheet saying, watch out for him. That's Dave Levine. Second and goal from the 1.
Keeper again.
Yeah, this time he finds
he's in
the end zone. So 1-yard touchdown.
So that time the Dogs actually were able to collapse the edge and not allow anyone from Marshwood upfield, and that allowed Charles to just pick his way through and just kind of weave his way into the end zone. When you can hold the edge, you can get outside, and that's what Marshwood was preventing them doing on the last series when they were down this close. And this time the Dogs actually were able to collapse that end.
And now they're going to try to go for 2. So Charles in the shotgun, he'll take the snap. He's looking on the right side, and
good pass. I can't tell if he caught it or not.
He did. Caught by Remy Jowani.
Just a nice simple slant play, quick pass, quick look, good for 2, and Remy Joe got just inside leverage on the DB. First quarter, the Dogs take that 8-0 lead, and this has got to make them feel good. They had a nice drive to start. They couldn't get in. Their defense came up with a great stop to give them great field position, and then they marched right back down the field and scored. So that stop that Marshwood had and the momentum that we thought might switch didn't.
And now we'll get ready for the kickoff. Dogs enjoying an 8-0 lead. Can bring them up to 500 tonight if they can be victorious. And Kennedy Charles does the kicking too. It's a squib. And that was picked up by Ty Cogler. And the Marshwood Hawks will take over on what appears to be their own 35-yard line, where they'll have the ball 1st and 10. So they get a little more breathing room to start this time.
Oh, big hole.
A huge hole.
Emmanuel
to the races. Oh, my goodness.
One play. Emmanuel Poe just took it through the hole. No one laid a hand on him, and he was gone as soon as he hit the 40.
65-yard run for Poe. And again, you had said that watch out for him, Dave.
Yeah, he's smaller. He's only 5'8", 155 junior, but he is blazing fast. And you saw those little choppy steps just kept pulling away, and no one could get near him on that run.
And it looks like the Hawks will line up for their own 2-point try. And there'll be a timeout. So with 5:53 left in the first quarter, the score, the Bulldogs 8, the Hawks 6, and they're threatening. So the Hawks will line up for the 2-point conversion. St. Cyr will be under center. And he hands it off. Yeah, and in for the score there, I think that's Ty Cogler.
Ty Cogler. Just kept picking his way outside, and there was only one defensive back out there to try to get him, and that's a tough ask for any single tackler out there one-on-one in space like that.
So the Hawks come back quickly. They take very little time off the clock. 5:53 left in the first quarter. 8-8 is the score. So the Hawks get ready to kick it off. Their kicker is Kevin Cochler. So the Cochler brothers clearly do it all for Marshwood. It's picked up short at the 25 and brought out to about the 36-yard line.
Yeah, it was Remy Joe Wani got that one, caught it on the fly, turned upfield. I was wondering if he was actually going to try to catch that because he was moving to the sideline so quickly. But he caught it, was able to stop his feet and move upfield and get a couple extra yards out of it.
It looks like you got about 11 maybe on that. But the ball's at the 35 now, and it's 1st and 10. You might be able to hear Peter Gribben behind us, the legend Peter Gribben, and we're in the Peter Gribben broadcast booth here tonight at Fitzpatrick Stadium. So Charles in the gun, and he follows. We got 2 flags on the play after about a 3-yard run.
Yeah, Shane Waterman caught him early, was able to break that tackle and move it forward, but those flags are typically where you see offensive holding.
Yeah, it's going to come back here. And go back.
Yeah, a lot of times on those stretch plays, that's what you get linemen who get beat outside and they know they need to make a block and they tend to grab on. If you can get your feet out ahead of that, it worked better, but sometimes the defender is just in the wrong position to the beginning and there's nothing you can do about it.
It's going to be 2nd and at least 20 here.
First and 20.
Oh, 1st and 20. Charles in the gun. He's got the ball, but right back there, we have a flag on the play.
Yeah, Justin Farnham blew up that play really quickly. Came in from his linebacker spot and just shot through that hole, and there was nothing Charles could have done.
However, it's a penalty, a face mask against Marshwood.
They're only going to they're calling it a 5-yard face mask from the spot of the foul, which only gives the Dogs 2 yards. I don't understand that.
Well, no, it's 5 yards. It'll be 1st and 17 now. They did walk it up 5, so here's a nice pitch. Dogs get back a chunk.
I think that was Andrew Brewer coming around the right side there, just kind of going as fast as he can, getting outside again, getting the nice corner block from his right tackle, and was able to pick up most of that penalty yard, plus a little bit, making it 2nd and reasonable now.
Yeah, it's 2nd and 6, and I think the scoreboard went back to where I think you were correct, that they only got about 2 yards, Dave, before on the penalty. But here we are, 2nd and 6 now.
Little
right
trap.
Up the middle.
That was a nice little play. They faked the pitch to the halfback coming around in motion, and then trapped it right up the middle for a nice 7-8 yard gain. Picks up the first down, brings the ball out to about midfield, and now all that penalty business that we talked about is irrelevant right now. First down right at midfield. Just a couple extra plays everybody had to do.
Charles will take the snap. He'll go back. He'll look deep.
Looking for Remy Joe again. Oh, got turned around at the end. The ball fluttered in the air. Remy Joe was looking for it, and then got turned around a little bit, and it just went over his outside shoulder. He was looking inside for it.
Deshaun Toussaint was with him step by step, but he did have a turn and a step.
Yeah,
a little too far.
Well, they're looking for that height advantage. He's got a couple inches on the cornerback over there. Remy Joe's a bigger kid. He's taller, so they were hoping for that little jump ball, maybe down the sideline. Again, he had the step, but the ball just kind of held up in the air and fluttered a little bit.
So 2nd and 10, ball still on the 48. Charles will follow 3 blockers. Oh my goodness, he will take 6 Hawks with him. He gets about a 12-yard gain.
That's a rugby scrum. They took that whole right side of the offensive line, led him through. Brewer was right in front of him, and the three of them just kept pushing the pile and pushing the pile and pushing the pile, and Charles stayed right behind him and got about 10 yards on that play.
So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 39. Dogs with a measured drive here. 3:43 left here in the first quarter. 1 in motion, Brewer, or Buck rather, and then he'll go the other way. But boy, he is going to be hugged and brought back by Will Anderson, who was right there.
Yeah, didn't get blocked up the middle. Will Anderson just split the line blocking and just blew that play right up. He was ready for the handoff. He was that close.
So that was a 5-yard loss.
Lucky they didn't fumble that.
It'll be 2nd and 15 from the 44. Checking in for the Dogs will be number 17, Harry Rubin, wide receiver.
5 on play. Ball is at the 44. 2nd down and 5.
2 wide on the right, 1 on the left. Oh, intercepted. Toussaint. About a 8-yard run afterwards.
Yeah, that ball was drastically underthrown. You had Remy Joe Wani going a little bit deeper on an in cut, and that ball was thrown on a line underneath, and that's exactly where that zone defense was sitting, and didn't see it, and it was just an easy interception.
So 2.5 minutes left here in the first quarter. And the Hawks now have the ball just about at midfield. 1st and 10, St. Cyr under center. 2 in the backfield. And there's a flag on the play. Wow. Still on his feet is Emmanuel Poe, but chances are there'll be a holding.
I think that's going to be actually illegal motion on that. That. Something didn't look quite right in the backfield when the pre-snap. Yep, illegal shift. They're going to decline it. Something didn't look right with the running backs. They moved Poen into the backfield pre-snap, and I don't think he was really set before the snap came. And you had the other running back also kind of moving a little bit.
A 3-yard loss makes it 2nd and 13 from the 44. And we have another flag here.
Going to be offsides on the Dogs. They moved. They have the Marshwood offense has a single setback with 2 wingbacks, and they moved that time. Poe went in motion coming behind, and when he came in motion, one of the Dogs jumped.
So it'll be second down and about 6. Poe stopped for maybe 1 yard gain, maybe no gain. Portland was right there, among others. Number 14, John Martin, in on that. So it'll be third down and about 8.
Third down and 8 to go.
Ball is on the 49-yard line. St. Cyr's in the gun. He's looking to throw. Pressure.
Screen.
Yeah, and he was looking for Andrew Ryan, but that was great pressure by the Dogs, number 50 and number 81, Colin Kelly and Brody Viola.
Yeah, the whole idea of the screen is to invite the defensive linemen through, but they came in a little bit too quickly and a little bit too untouched, and it forced St. Cyr to throw off his back foot, making that errant throw.
Remy Joe Wani is deep for the Dogs. That is a big, high, hanging kick. And he's going to have to, let it roll right there. And it'll be Dogs ball, 1st and 10. It looks like to be about on the 15. So we have 1.5 minutes left here in the first quarter. There's been a lot of action here, and it's gone relatively slow, Dave.
It has. There's been a lot of downtime for a very action-packed game. I mean, the Dogs had 2 great drives, brought it right down and scored. Big run by Emmanuel Poe for Marshwood, and it's just 8-8.
1st and 10, so he's got 1 through. He fakes it, but who he didn't fool was number 8, Aiden Hashem, and Daniel Mercier, number 54.
Yeah, they tried to do a little misdirection with Andrew Brewer coming out of the back there, and Marshwood was just ready for that right off the bat.
They did get 2 yards, however, so it'll be 2nd and 8. Charles gets the snap, and he's going to take it himself. He's got some daylight on the right side.
Boy, oh boy, is he fast. Breaks another tackle all the way down to the 15-yard line. We said Emmanuel Poe was fast. Kennedy Charles just showed his wheels. There is a holding call back at the 30-yard line that's going to negate that entire run.
Coach McLeod is apoplectic over that.
So that hold was after they got the first down, so it's going to be a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, which was up around the 27-ish yard line, and that's going to bring it all the way back to the 17. So after all that, it's 2nd and 7. And unfortunately now, Charles is winded from that big run. The momentum that they thought that they had from that big run is now taken away, and it looks like somebody's going to call a timeout here.
Well, there's 14.7 seconds left in the first quarter. The Dogs will get a play off. The clock was stopped for some reason. I'm not sure that anybody's charged with the timeout, though. Ball is on the 17. Still a little stoppage here. Now we're ready.
No, they reset the clock to 30 seconds.
Okay. Coming around on the left side is Buck. He's getting up gingerly. So the Dogs aren't going to get another playoff. We're going to go to the second quarter, 8-8. We'll take a break. So here we go. 3rd and 8, start of the second quarter.
Little run up the middle to get a couple yards. The Marshwood coaches were throwing a hissy fit up here for something. I don't know what it was.
Or is that the broadcast team?
So now Dogs are going to punt with 4th and 4 deep in their own end. They're not going to try. They're not going to risk this. 2 deep back for Marshwood. Good punt.
Yeah.
Great punt over the head.
Yeah, as Poe's going to pick it up at about the 28.
Good
There's a
coverage,
flag,
too.
Yeah, and there's a flag, though.
So that was a great punt. Kind of with the wind, got it lower and just drove it over the head of Poe. And when it bounced a couple times, it allowed the gunners to get downfield very quickly. And you're going to have a hold or a block in the back from Marshwood to back them up even further. It's always one of the two, Steve.
Right, and I mean, it's pretty clear because you can see the Marshwood players starting up much further back than where they'd like to be. I think the ball is going to be placed on the 21-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10. St. Cyr will be under center, as he's been most of the night. And when he's not, they're usually throwing.
Oh, fumble.
Oh, yeah.
That was a broken play.
He picks it up, and he's driven out of bounds on the far side. Let's see if we can get Charles, who put the pressure on it.
He was he was looking for the handoff to Cogler, but Cogler was going upfield to block. So there was some miscommunication in the back of the field. And then when St. Cyr reached out further, he hit Cogler on the hip, and the ball popped out. So to his credit, he was able to pick it up, but that's a big loss.
It's a 10-yard loss, I think. I mean, they're saying a 2-yard loss. Oh yeah,
they lost about 7 yards on that.
That's exactly right. 2nd and 17. In the gun now is St. Cyr up the middle. And, little crossing pattern there. Santisi.
Yeah, Santisi. They just took it. It was like a 3-step drop, and he just fired it right out to get a couple yards back. But it's still 3rd and 12. So right now, if Marshwood is out of the gun, they're throwing, and if they're under center, they're passing. We haven't seen an under center pass yet.
That was a 5-yard pass. I dare say that we lost a little bit of light on that last play. A couple of bulbs, it looks like, on our side went out. Rolling to his right. Oh, goodness. Incomplete as he was looking for Santisi again.
Yeah, he had him open on that little dig route. Santisi came down, put on the brakes, and came back. Came back short of the line to gain, so that's why he was open. The Dogs were looking for a catch and rally to tackle, but the ball was just a little high and a little bit hard for that. So now the Dogs are going to look for good field position with punting against the wind now.
Yeah, and it's, of course, 4th and 12. The ball's on the 19, and there'll be a punt. 4th down. Dogs have one deep. Remy Joe. That's very,
blocked.
very short.
Oh, no, that was off the side of his foot. And that's going to come out to about the 40. So that's going to go down as a 20-yard punt.
You don't know what the conditions are like down there. It's a little windy. We do know that.
Yeah, the flag is now moving from left to right on the screen. And the gusts are starting to pick up. So you can see at the beginning of the game that the flag was just hanging down, not even moving at all. And now it's right out straight. So the wind is picked up. The Dogs are going with the wind. So that should give their passing offense a little bit of a boost.
It is 1st and 10 from the 39. Kennedy Charles in the shotgun. Conference with the official.
Discussion on the Dog sideline. So Coach McLeod is talking to the ref about something, but I'm not exactly sure what it is. Seemed like a pretty innocuous punt.
We hear the rocket bike go by on 295. Here's Charles rolling out to the right. The long throw to the end zone.
Oh,
just outside the reach.
That's Harry Rubin. Now that was the best ball that Kennedy Charles has thrown all night. He rolled out, got his feet under him and launched it, and it was a beautiful spiral that just was too long for Rubin. But that was the best looking throw that he's thrown all night.
2nd and 10. Charles has the ball. Oop. Brought down by Poe.
Yeah, he only got a couple yards out of that. Poe came upfield, and you were hoping that Charles could outbeat him. But those are the two fastest kids on the field for either side, and it's a pretty fair fight.
So it'll be 3rd and 8 from the 37.
This could be 2-down territory. If the Dogs can get about 5 or 6 yards on this play and to leave it 4th and short, I would imagine that they would go for it. And you might make a play call so that you're looking to do that. This could be a 2-down play. And there's your run. Ball came out, it looked like.
Yeah. On that play, right away is Riley Parnham.
Yeah, they only got one or 2 yards on that, so that's going to leave it 4th and longer than I think they want, and they might punt here.
Well, they could drive the Hawks back pretty far, although, let's see, if they do punt.
Unless they want to go for a fake.
Yeah, they do have Poe deep.
No fake punts.
They're probably going to punt this away. I got inside information, said they don't have any fake plays. Good punt.
Wow, that is a beauty.
Fair catch at the
called.
5.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they wanted to do. Drop it inside the 10-yard line and hope to down it there. But that punt was so high up in the air, forced Poe to catch it on the fly down at the 5-yard line and see if the Dog defense can step up.
So it's 7:38 left here now in the first half. Your score is 8-8, folks. Portland with a beautiful drive, and one play later, after the kickoff, the Hawks just answered.
And since then, it's been a whole lot of back and forth nothing. Both defense have come out to play. They've kind of settled down. Oh, running back tripped. I couldn't see who that was, but the running back tripped trying to make his break coming around the corner there, and suffered like a 3-yard loss. Dogs were all over it anyway. Even if he had made the cut, he wasn't going anywhere. Play action. Intercepted.
Number 9, Aiden McGowan.
Yeah, they were looking for Sam McShane on a comeback, and McGowan just jumped the route, came up underneath it, and picked it clean. Sets the Dogs up beautifully down at the 15-yard line. So again, that was a play action pass from St. Cyr, and he had time, but tried to force it into coverage, and the Dogs picked it off and see if they can capitalize on this.
1st and 10 from the 15. Now we have a whistle. And a timeout, Portland High School. So with 6:48 left here in the first half, the score, the Dogs 8, the Hawks 8, and it'll be Dogs ball when we come back. Okay, folks, 1st and 10 from the 15. Here's Charles on the right side. He looks for room. He is stopped at about the 2.
Yeah, Ty Kogler just was able to get a hand on him and push him out at the 2-yard line. However, that was a 13-yard pickup, 1st down, and another goal to go for the Dogs.
He is fast, Dave.
He is quick. That play really didn't have any business gaining any yards. Marshwood had strung it out pretty well, but he was able to just find another gear and get to the corner. Out of the pistol this time.
Rumbling, stumbling, bumbling in for the touchdown.
That's Andrew Brewer on the handoff, wasn't it?
It was. He gets the 2-yard touchdown.
Yeah, different formation that time. Out of the pistol with the running back set up behind Charles in that semi-shotgun, and they just ran a standard pro play. Simple off the right side, between the right guard and the right tackle, and he just powered his way through.
And, of course, the Dogs will go for 2. 14-8 is the lead right now. No. Yeah, that great defense by the Hawks. Yeah, that time Buck couldn't make it.
Yeah, Buck tried to take that little underneath handoff from the wing position, and that didn't work the last time they tried it. Didn't work this time that they tried it.
14-8 is your score. 6.5 minutes left in the first half. We'll be back in a moment. So we are back for the kickoff now. Happens from the 40. Charles kicks with his left foot. Squibs it. Poe with the ball. There's going to be a flag. It's in the backfield. We'll see.
I saw the play. I'm waiting for the officials to call this. Yep, there's the block in the back. That was Cody Boublier came through and just blocked somebody in the back when the ball was picked up, because the Poe took the ball and kind of switched directions, and when he switched directions, the blocker kind of got caught going the wrong way. That's one of those that's not his fault, but it is his fault. He didn't have a choice. He had a block going well, and then when the runner changed directions, all of a sudden he's blocking in the back.
It'll be 1st and 10 from the 12. St. Cyr's under center. He's got one in motion. And not much.
Yeah, Ty Kogler got the ball again, and they tried to go outside with it and really didn't get much, but they're saying he wasn't down now, and now he's out, got another 5 yards on that. That didn't seem something. Everyone kind of stopped, but there was no whistle. Portland's defense strung that play out completely and didn't play to the whistle. So instead of a 1 yard gain or a no yard gain, that turned into a 5 yard gain for Marshwood.
Nothing doing for Cochler there.
Yeah, Braden Wales had a hold of his ankle, came busting through from his linebacker position and just grabbed an ankle and held on for dear life and got the 1 yard loss. So now you're talking 3rd and 6. And Marshwood has been passing out of this down in distance.
But this time they've got St. Cyr under center.
He's going to keep it.
Once again.
Intercepted and dropped. Oh, boy.
Number 52 was Gavin Bennett.
Yeah,
who had it in his hands.
Gavin saw the blue end zone in his eyes and took his eyes off the ball before he had it completely caught. He had that route read beautifully, dropped off from his defensive end position and just undercut that quick route.
And that said, the Dogs have a chance at very good field position here.
Punting into the wind again, got a great bounce. Couldn't get up, yeah.
It'll be the Dogs' ball.
Yeah, Remy Joe couldn't get up to that ball quick enough, and probably should have just put his arm up for a fair catch. If he had, they could have probably saved themselves 10 or 15 yards on the bounce, and he's kicking himself for that. But they're set up in good position. They have the ball near midfield. They've got 5 minutes to get down to the end zone, and with the way this offense has been running the ball, they've been able to move it. They've taken a couple deep shots, not so much underneath, but a lot of deep passing.
And they've got the win with them now. Nice 5 yard pickup there for Regan Buck. He's been a workhorse tonight.
Yes, he has. Aiden Hashem came over and made that tackle, but not until Buck got a good 4 or 5 yards on that play. And this is where the Portland offense has really been successful. That second and short, second and medium type of play calling where they can just keep moving the ball, getting 5-6 yards of play and getting down the field. I mean, they really do put up a lot of running yards typically in a game. Little wide receiver screen.
Whoa. Nice effort on the left side
That was very well done by Charles. He took that ball, took one step, put his foot in the ground, and rifled it out to your wide receiver. And really, that's going to go down as a pass play. But for all intents and purposes, that's an extension of your run game.
And that was Remy Jowani with the pickup there.
You want to get the ball into your playmaker's hands, and that's how you do it, with a quick pass off a soft coverage. And he was able to make one man miss, pick up about 13, 14 yards, and move the chains.
1st and 10 from the 42. And we'll have a whistle.
Little false start or illegal motion on Portland. They were trying to go a little quicker coming out of the huddle. They wanted to snap that ball very quickly, but not everybody was on the same page.
Have to excuse me here. It's windy. It's still a beautiful night, but my goodness, the wind is really whipping up here and down there. 3.5 minutes left now. 1st and 15 for the Dogs. They're going to try to get back about 4 of those yards.
Just a little dive play up the middle to try to fool the defense a little bit. Marshwood really wasn't fooled that much. They got about 3 or 4 of those penalty yards back, so now it's 2nd and 11.
Ball is at the 44-yard line. Charles hands it off to Buck. Buck finds a hole. He drags. He absolutely drags Santisi with him.
Santisi grabbed him at about the 30-yard line and went for a 6-yard ride as Buck just did not give up. He kept those legs churning and picked up a big first down. 2 minutes to go, so Portland still has plenty of time.
But a 12-yard pickup, 1st and 10 from the 24. Charles bounces off of one. He's on the right side. He's open, and he scores. A 24-yard touchdown run. His 2nd rushing touchdown of the evening.
Yeah, that play was all because of Regan Buck. He came around that corner as a fullback lead blocker and absolutely destroyed the cornerback on that side, put him on his butt, sent him flying a couple yards backwards, and that just opened that whole lane up for Charles to run down the sideline.
And it gives the Dogs a 12-point lead, 20-8, with 2:05 left here in the first half. They're going to go for 2 now.
Double running backs with Charles in the middle.
Charles looks to the right.
They're looking for a fade. And he got his foot down. They just threw it up to Remy Joe again. On a nice fade to the back corner, he looked that way and just lobbed it up. Again, a beautiful throw. He's starting to feel a little bit more comfortable throwing the ball now.
Yeah, his 2nd 2-point conversion out of 3 tries. Makes the score 22-8 with 2 minutes left here in the first half. So it's kickoff time. I understand that you may have seen my shoulder instead of that great pass. And we're in a different booth tonight, and we'll have to learn to adapt here as Charles will kick off. And it shows you the wind will knock it off the kicking tee there.
Little squib again.
Sure hands from Poe, but he goes backwards. And probably picks up a few. But
yeah, he is just really, really quick, really fast, quick change of direction. Those short, choppy steps, like I talked about, really allows him to go wherever he wants. But this time, that squib kick really slows the return down a lot. And I'm sure that's by design. They don't want him up to full speed with no block, with no one near him, because once he's in the open field, he's trouble. So with all the momentum, Portland has to come up with a stop for the last 2 minutes of this half. Out of the shotgun.
Got Poe in motion, one-handed grab.
And there he is.
Yep. And a great player brought down after a large gain. In on that is number 44 for Portland.
That was a spectacular catch by Poe. Got one hand up and just stuck it to him. And then he was up to full speed really, really quickly. Out of the shotgun again, they're looking to pass. That's going to be false. That's going to be an illegal motion on Marshwood. The wide receiver was not set on this side of the field before the snap. So the snap, they were trying to hurry up because the ball was in the middle of the field. They didn't want to have to take a timeout there, and they just kind of rushed it just a little bit before the wide receiver could get into position and come set for that full second. Flag came out immediately.
So it'll be 1st and 15. The ball's on the 40. What is it? On the 38-yard line.
1:30. Clock is moving.
St. Cyr looks to the left side, too far, over everything, as his Cochler was his target there. Ty Cochler.
Yeah, it was a two-man pattern on that side with man-to-man defense, and neither player was open, so he just did the smart thing and threw it out of bounds.
Second and 15. Ball still on the 39. St. Cyr in the shotgun here. Oh, actually under center, excuse me.
Yeah, I think at this point, with talking, I'm kind of surprised they weren't going to pass there, but I think they might want to try to get out of this half. They're coming back to a huddle. They're not hurrying up. They're now looking 3rd and long. Portland could call a timeout and force a punt, but I think they're content to just let this thing run down and go into half with a 22-8 lead. Sometimes if you call timeout here, gives the other team an opportunity to make a play, and you'd rather go in 22-8 rather than let Marshwood come down the field and get some kind of lucky play.
It's 3rd and 13 now. The ball's on the 41.
Yeah, they're just going to keep a handoff. And there's your 4th down. There's your 3rd down stop to bring up 4th down. And Portland is not going to force them to punt. They're just going to let this thing run out. And I think that's actually the smart play.
Oh, there's 20 seconds left.
Don't risk mixing up some sort of punt coverage, some sort of drop the muff-up kick or something, and give Marshwood any kind of chance to make a play here. They're going to try one last Hail Mary. That's a false start. Number 9, wide receiver number 9, Sam McShane, kind of got a running start there from his outside position.
It's a 14-point dog lead here. We're going to head into the halftime with 0.6 seconds left.
Here's the Portland defense. They've got 7 players 15 yards deep. Clock's going to run, and that's going to do it.
So that'll be the end of the first half. 22-8 is the score. We'll wrap up the first half with you in a moment, and hopefully we'll be joined by Mike Hoffer. So here we are at halftime. The Dogs have a 14-point lead. The first half has been about largely Kennedy Charles.
Yeah, he's had a terrific game so far. 13 rushes, 99 yards, 2 touchdowns, and also two-point conversion passes to Remy Jowani, who made that fantastic catch in the back of the end zone for that last 2-point conversion. But the player maybe I've been most impressed with was Andrew Brewer. I don't know if you noticed, but that pancake block that freed Charles for that second touchdown run and certainly got the Portland sidelines energized. And of course, he had a touchdown run of his own, bowling his way into the end zone. You know, the Bulldogs really look great. They've hurt themselves. I mean, they could have an even bigger lead right now if you think about it. They had a long 75-yard run by Charles called back by a penalty, and they also had an interception, and they were stopped at the 1 on the first drive. Otherwise, they've pretty much done what they've wanted to since the kickoff.
Well, Coach McLeod said at the beginning of the game they were really looking forward to tonight.
Yes, they have, and their defense has really come out to play. They've gotten their hands on at least 3 or 4 balls down the field. They did come up with an interception or 2. They dropped one down at the 10-yard line that could have been a score, but to their credit, the offense responded. They took the ball right down and scored again. So the offense is really feeding off that defense. And after that first stop down at the goal line, the defense really came up big, came up with the stop, gave the ball right back to the offense, and the offense came down the field and scored again.
Folks, it's 22-8, and we'll be back with second half action in a moment. So we are ready to start the second half as Kennedy Charles backs up. 22-8 is the score. The Dogs in front. It'll be Marshwood ball to start the second half. Steve Schwartz, Dave Levine. The scrib. Difficult to field, and as a result, Poe is brought down. Great coverage. And that was Buck on the coverage down there. So you don't always expect to see him. He's really everywhere.
He is. He's playing a great game, and this squib kick is bouncing a couple times and then is taking that third or fourth hop straight up in the air, and it's not allowing Poe to get any momentum going forward on a run back. And again, Marshwood is starting inside their own 30-yard line.
That's right. It'll be 1st and 10 on the 22. St. Cyr under center. Now we'll see. No flag. Oh. Wow.
Linebacker blitz came right up the middle. You could see it. You could see it from before the snap.
I thought it might have been an offside.
No,
but it really wasn't.
I was keeping an eye on it. They walked their linebackers right up into that gap between the nose tackle and your defensive guard, really, and just shot the gap and was right there at the feet of St. Cyr before he could do anything.
Well, it's a 7-yard loss, so it'll be 2nd and 17 from the 15-yard line.
Yeah, Portland's a little fired up from that little halftime show.
After this play, I want you to enlighten the fans. St. Cyr hands off to Cogler.
Yeah, so at halftime, Marshwood was warming up on the left side of the field, and really because of the way the halves are, they should have been on the right side. Portland came out, they started warming up on the left side of the field, and then Marshwood kept warming up and tried to walk right through the circle that Portland had set up for their warm-ups. And the refs got involved, the coaches got involved, and moved Marshwood down to the other side of the field. But I think that fired up the Portland team.
And I think the word was the punkers got punked. That's too far for Santisi, who's clearly a favorite target of St. Cyr.
Yeah, Aiden McGowan was in trail coverage there. That was gonna be a tough pass to complete. Going that deep into the corner, that's an NFL throw right there. If he tried to complete it, but that forces a 4th down and 12, so they're gonna punt. And again, our returner is standing inside the Marshwood 50.
And it's going to be Remy Joe, and he's going to, oh my goodness, he fumbles, but he picks it up. And he actually gets about 6 yards, but goodness.
Yeah, that's what they didn't want to do at the end of the half. Remember I said, don't call the timeout. Don't force the punt. Let them just run it out because of things like that. Now, Remy Joe was able to get on it, but at the end of the half, that could have been a disaster.
And here we are now, 1st and 10 from the Hawks' 46-yard line.
So Portland defense came out, forced their 3 and out right off the bat, which is what they wanted to do. They're fired up from halftime.
There's a flag, though, in the backfield, and the Dogs are going to get a heck of an advantage here. That looks like an unsportsmanlike of some type, unless they're going to re-kick.
They're going to force a re-kick because of the poor return by Remy Joe. They're going to back. It looks like a hold. No, that's a 15-yard penalty. So that's a big penalty on Marshwood, forcing them to re-kick. And now you got Remy Joe Wani standing at the Marshwood 35.
And they're kicking from their end zone. And it's
over the head, and it's going to be a safety. So the best of everything happens for the Dogs. You get a 15-yard penalty. The snap goes over the punter's head for an automatic safety, and now Marshwood is going to be punting from their own 20-yard line. So the Dogs pick up a free 2 points and are going to get the ball back somewhere around midfield. This is a huge, huge break for the Dogs.
And it gives them a 16-point lead.
That's a big, big thing. Now it's 2 2-point conversions plus 2 touchdowns, and the Portland is going to get the ball back in excellent field position here. I didn't see what happened, but the snap just went right straight over the punter's head. It wasn't even close.
So everything going right now for the Dogs.
So I don't know if Portland has really practiced a free kick from the 20, but their 2 deep men are very, very deep.
And they're going to come up a little bit.
There they go. Now the coaches are pushing them up. So they're standing at your deep men are now down about the 35-yard line. So this is a free kick. Marshwood can kick it, they can punt it, they can drop kick it, they can do whatever they want from here, but it's from the 20, so usually you get a punter to punt this.
And that's what they've done. It's a line drive. And it's picked up by Charles on the right side. And a nice return. Brings it up to the 42-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 Dogs.
Yeah, Cam Sutton was right there to help him up after the tackle. So it shows that they still have some good sportsmanship, even though there might be some little chippiness going on right now between the two teams. But Portland is set up beautifully at the 42 of Marshwood, and if they can get this ball into the end zone, they're going to be looking pretty to move their record up to 500.
Charles on the right side. He gets a block. He's on the sideline going down. And he breaks away for the touchdown. 42-yard touchdown, Kennedy Charles.
Yeah, Benjamin Santisi was the last hope for Marshwood, and he wasn't able to force Kennedy Charles out to the end zone, but he just came around that corner, and again with the speed and the athleticism that he has, going right down the sideline, tight rope walking, and got the touchdown.
Jason McLeod saw something. He told us that he was looking forward to that. And by the way, did we get that touchdown? So we didn't get my shoulder. That's a good thing.
So Portland is now going to set up again to go for 2. It's a 30-8 lead. This would be a huge 2-point conversion for them to make it 3 full touchdowns and 3 2-point conversions to tie this game for Marshwood.
Charles has the ball. He's on the right side. He's pitching, and he's going to get in.
Boy, he just kept going outside and outside and outside, and eventually had to make the decision to put his foot in the ground and come upfield, and was able to actually get there. He should have been stopped in the backfield, but again, his speed and his athleticism was able to get that corner and get the touchdown, or get the 2-point conversion.
What a night Kennedy Charles is having tonight. He's got touchdown runs of 1 yard, 24 yards, 42 yards. And now the 2-point conversion to go with it.
And he has 2 2-point conversion passes as well. So he's having a heck of a night. Might be time to get some of the other kids get involved. He's gonna be tired by the morning. Might not want to get out of bed tomorrow morning for film review. You can see there's a hop in all of the Portland sideline, and people on the field. They're ready to play. They're excited right now. They're really playing at a high level, the entire team, and they want this win. They want this revenge game.
So there's a
regular kickoff, drives him all the way back to the 10.
Yeah. Coughlin looking for somewhere and can't really find anywhere to go. That was a nice reception.
Didn't even get back out to the 20. It drove it back. They've been, with all those squib kicks, Marshwood kind of snuck up the field, and they were standing somewhere around the 15-yard line. And that time, Coach McLeod told Charles just to boot it, and he dropped it nicely over the head, and which really screwed up the timing of the Marshwood return. And Portland stayed in their lane, stayed disciplined, and they got the stop.
So it is 1st and 10 Marshwood from their own 19. Oh, that was a great play. And that was, I think, number 50, Colin Kelly.
Yeah, Gavin Bennett was right in there, too. They gave the ball to Andrew Ryan that time, Marshwood did. And they jumped that handoff and saw it right off the bat. This defensive line is starting to get at it.
That was a 2-yard loss. It'll be 2nd and 12.
They're walking their linebackers up again.
St. Cyr goes back. Oh, knocked down. What a great play by number 17, Harry Rubin.
Yeah, that was beautiful. It was a nice play action. They got the linebackers to come up and bite on that, but Rubin did not care. He was in slightly underneath trail coverage for the wide receiver and just had the makeup speed to dive over and knock that ball away. That was man was open, but Rubin said no way.
3rd and 12 now. Ball still on the 17-yard line. Well,
got a whistle before the play.
Yeah. Looks like a motion penalty. We'll see.
No, that's going to be offsides on Portland. They got a little aggressive. I think they're going to bring the house on this play. Looking at third and long, I think they're going to come in with the linebacker blitzing coming up in there and try to force a quicker pass.
It's 3rd and 7 from the 22, and just swarming defense.
Ball looks like it was on the ground.
Yeah, that could be a fumble recovery, number 27.
And Portland has the ball.
Braden Wales really.
Yeah, it looked like it was a fumbled snap. The Portland only brought one linebacker right up the A-gap, right up the middle there. And I think the ball never really got to St. Cyr's hands. And it just kind of was on the ground, rolling around, and Portland picks it up at the Marshwood 21. They're set up right now. with all the momentum in the world, with all the energy in the world, and you can see the kids on the sideline are starting with the bird arms to mock the Hawks a little bit.
But I mean, really, when you look at the size of the team and the lack of overall depth, the Coach McLeod is just working miracles with this team.
So out of the pistol, you got handoff, coming off tackle.
Nice effort there. That looks like number 25.
That's Andrew Brewer. They ran that play for a touchdown before. Same exact play, and I think this is one of those handoffs that they need to get Brewer more involved in. He's a wrecking ball of a kid, and doesn't have really the outside speed that Buck and Charles have, but he is a workhorse. He's a tank, and give him the ball, he'll get you the yardage that you need.
It's 2nd and 1. Charles keeps it.
Outside again.
He's going to get the first down and more.
Yeah, he broke a tackle at the point of attack, really. Ducked underneath a tackle and was able to work his way up the sideline for another 6 or 7 yards.
And now it's 1st and goal from the 1. Or from the 3, rather.
This is where I'd like to see that pistol run again with Andrew Brewer. Run that same play that they just ran out of the pistol. Give it to him. I might get my wish. Out of the pistol, Brewer. Oh, he got tackled that time. But they did run that same play.
Yeah, and that was a heads-up play and good sportsmanship. Andrew Ryan from Marshwood. 2nd and goal from the 4, a 1-yard loss.
Portland really does like to run off that right side. Most of their yardage has come off the right side. The linemen there, the right tackle and right guard are putting in a lot of work.
Usually right tackle and right guard.
Here we go. We've got 1 in motion. 2.
Coming off the left side that time.
That is over the line for
and that's Andrew Brewer. Andrew Brewer got another one, and they went left side that time to get that touchdown. And I think after running right all night long, they decided to come back left and caught Marshwood overacting on that side. And they're really looking. The Portland offense is really looking in good shape.
They have a 30-point lead, 38-8. They're going to try to make it a clean 40 points here, an even 40 points. Charles to Buck and in. So Regan Buck with the 2-point conversion. 40-8 is your score. The Dogs in front with 7:02 left in the 3rd quarter.
All right.
So 40-8, the Dogs with a huge lead, 32 points. The squib kick picked up. Well, we'll see if it's picked up and just falled on. And that was probably the right way to handle it for Benjamin Santisi. You know, that squib kick is nothing easy to handle.
No, it isn't. It bounces around, and it's been taking that weird last hop straight up in the air. And if something weird happens before that and goes the wrong way, Portland is getting downfield, and they could possibly recover that. So it was the smart thing for Santisi just to kind of fall on that and kind of stop the damage that's been going on here.
Kind of the longest onside kick in history.
Pretty much.
So 1st and 10. The Hawks are on their own 32. St.
Pump
Cyr,
fake.
yeah, and dropped.
Dropped. So that was a good-looking play. They are coming out of the shotgun now, and they're going to start having to pass this ball a little bit. They tried to get up the field a little bit, get the ball into a receiver's hands, kind of dropped it in over the coverage. Wasn't going to get much more than 4 or 5 yards on the play, but still, you need some kind of momentum from Marshwood, and an easy drop right in your hands is not the way to do it.
Second and 10. Ball on the 32. St. Cyr will remain in the shotgun.
Ooh.
And a crushing blow.
Yeah, there was double cover. There was single coverage on the left, double coverage on the right, and the receiver, the ball got there just as he was hit by 2 Bulldogs, and he's down. It looked like it was a clean hit to the body, but he kind of was extended out looking to try to catch the ball.
So it's 40-8, and we're going to take a break here, folks. 6:47 left in the third quarter. So we are back with, frankly, good news. Emmanuel Poe had been down, number 2, the star receiver.
Yeah, he was able to, fortunately, they kept him down for a while. They were looking at it looked like they were looking at his neck and the back of his neck. They were abundantly cautious, but then he got up on his own power and walked off slowly from the field, so you can see everything was okay with him. He got hit really well. It looked like it was clean. Now you got a Portland player down here. It looks like an ankle or something. So we'll be right back after they take care of Andrew. So Andrew Brewer was able to walk off the field under his own power after a cramp.
Fair
Big
catch call.
punt.
Yeah.
Wow.
Caught on the 40 by Remy Jowani, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Dogs. Here we go, folks. 1st and 10 Dogs as you look at the Bulldog mascot. Hard to bring down. A nice 8-yard gain for Buck.
Yeah, they're the offensive line now. I gotta give a shout out to all these offensive linemen. You got your left guard is Colin Kelly, and your left tackle is Isaac Alcanfani, and those two on the left side have really been protecting the blind side of your quarterback, but they've been running hard behind your right guard Owen Swanson and your right tackle Gavin Bennett. Those two kids have been putting in some work tonight.
2nd and 2, 1st down.
And of course, everything starts with Isaac Muse, who's the center of this whole thing. Every snap has been right on the money to Kennedy Charles. It's been coming back quick, and he's getting the block at the point of attack a lot of times. And this offensive line, though they look undersized compared to the big Marshwood front, have been putting in some work.
Tonight's cameramen are Chris Gillies and Valentino Cartonio. Come up and help us. Did a great job tonight. 1st and 10, ball at midfield. And here's Buck. He's going to have a nice 7-yard runabout.
So they got Louis Thurston in at quarterback now. Give Kennedy Charles a little bit of a break back there. I mean, Charles was working hard all night. A lot of punishment on that slight frame. Now it's time to bring in Louis Thurston to try to finish this up. And he was quarterback earlier in the year, so he has skills back there. And this is a perfect time to bring him in, get him a quarter and a half of work under center, and see what they can do moving forward.
It'll be 2nd and 3. Ball on the 43. Oh, low snap. And a flag.
It's a false start. The snap came, I think, before everyone was ready.
So 2nd and 12 now. Ball will be on the 48-yard line. At what point, if you know, is there running time, Dave?
It's in the fourth quarter. It'll start in the fourth quarter. I thought it was up 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter.
I think we're there. Nice tackle in the backfield. Great effort by number 52.
Yeah,
William
they tried
Maynard.
a little misdirection with Aiden McGowan. They faked the handoff going right and handed it off to Aiden coming back to the left. But that Marshwood line just kind of blew through. There have been some substitutions across the Bulldogs front 5. And it'll take some of these kids a little bit of time to get up to speed because they've been standing on the sideline for quite a while, cooling off. They'll get back going and make a play here.
Hunter Temple checks in for the Dogs. He's lines up wide right. And a nice effort there. Shy of the first down, however. And that was Buck.
Yeah, they pulled both the left guard and the center on that play, running to the right side. Get a little extra beef at the point of attack there. Move down the field, and they got a nice pickup on that. They got about 10 yards to make it go. They can go for it on 4th and short now.
And it will be 4th and 2. Ball on the 42. Oh, well, we'll see what happens there. Looks like an offsides, but it is.
Yeah, they went they went for a different count cadence that time, and you drew the defensive line off, and that's discipline for Portland. That's a smart play. You go on 2, you go on 3, you try to make something a little bit different, and Marshwood was trying to time the snap and jump up there and make the stop before and get the 2 yards, but the offsides gives Portland a nice first down.
1st and 10 from the 37. Dogs at the ball. 3:11 left here in the third quarter. Dogs have this game firmly in command. There's Buck.
Ball came out. Ball came out at the end. Yeah. Buck was going down and it looked like it got stripped out by number 24, Colin Barker.
And a turnover for the Dogs now. Marshwood's going to be without Poe. Nice defensive effort.
Yeah, that play was made again by Brandon Wales. He came way up the field. Didn't get a hand on the running back, but forced him back inside and didn't let the running back get the corner, and really brought it back into the teeth of the Portland defense to make the stop.
It's a 3-yard gain, 2nd and 7. Ball's on the 35. And another great defensive effort.
Henry Spencer jumped in there on the play. Came in from a linebacker position and jumped in and made a nice tackle.
And there's a 1-yard loss. It'll be 3rd and 8. St. Cyr looks to throw over the middle, and it'll be shy of the first down as Santisi catches it. But there to meet him right on target is Aiden McGowan. So 1.5 minutes left here in the third quarter. It's 4th and 1.
And Marshwood is going to punt. Not sure about this one. I would have thought they would have tried to go for it here, but they're just going to punt it away and maybe try to get out of here without any more damage. High punt.
It takes a huge Portland bounce. So it'll be the Dogs' ball on their own 48-yard line, 49-yard line.
Or the 44, Steve.
Oh, yes it is, isn't it?
One of those 40 numbers. It's all good.
When I first started doing this, I think I was like, he's at the 40, the 50, the 60, the 70.
So 53 seconds left in the third quarter. Portland's just going to probably just run the ball a lot, try to burn some clock here, get some other players in the game. Remy Jawani is now on the bench. Get some other players in. Ball's out again. And that's Aiden McGowan with a carry, and you could see he was holding it way out to the side. Didn't get it up tucked into his, never really tucked it into his body. And as soon as he was hit, that ball went flying. So Portland has got to, now that's 2 turnovers on 2 straight running plays when they're up this big. You can't let your foot off the gas. You have to hold on to the ball and just try to run some clock. And turning it over is not the way to do that.
Well, it's akin to taking your eye off the ball. You know, you're looking for running time, but not yet, as number 42 gets that carry. He's not on our roster. But he does gain about 4 yards, or 3. It'll be 2nd and 7. Ball placed at the 41-yard line. 20 seconds left here in the third quarter. So Marshwood will try to get a play off.
2nd down, 7.
Shy of the first down. So 40-8 is the score. It'll be 3rd down. When we come back, the Dogs are in front. We are back, 4th quarter. That is a big run.
7702. 190. 7702.
Well, they've stopped the clock to move the chains. 1st and 10 from the 21.
The number is 190-7702.
Wow, straight up the middle. Nice effort for Marshwood. It'll be 1st and goal.
Still looking for a person with the ticket 190-7702.
You'll skip it off.
Well, we'll see. Maybe
a false start on Marshwood. with some younger players in there, some freshmen and sophomores. The timing is a little bit off. You can see the Portland defense is doing the same thing. They brought in a lot of their subs. So you've got some players who don't normally get out onto the field a lot, getting some valuable minutes for both squads. And it just takes a little bit to get into sync. That was 3 Bulldogs coming in.
Henry Spencer was the lead, it looked like.
Yeah, and Isaac Al-Kafaji was there too. They had just brought him in as a substitute on the last play. So it looks like they're trying to mix a little bit of some of the starters with some of the backups to give everybody a little bit better chance.
2nd and 12. And back to throw is St. Cyr. He's in trouble, and he is sacked.
Yeah, good pressure from Ben Trenowith. He came in and really disrupted that pass play. Knew he couldn't get to the quarterback, so he got his hands up, and that just takes away the vision of the quarterback. And now you're looking at 3rd and goal.
They actually had that as a 2-yard gain, but still great defensive effort. 3rd and 11.
Slant.
And good defense as Ty Cochler is brought down.
They've had some success on that short slant, getting 6, 7, 8 yards of play. It's not gonna get you big flashy numbers, but those are the types of plays that you can build on as an offense.
And of course they'll go for it on 4th down here.
Oh, it missed him, yeah.
So it'll be Portland ball. They'll take the ball on their own 9.
Yeah, had Deshaun Trissant down there in the corner trying to run a little out pattern. Even if he had caught that, he was running the wrong way. He was running towards the sideline with 2 Portland defenders back there to make the play.
So the Dogs get the ball on downs. 8:50 left. I don't see anything about running time here.
You would think with a 40-8 lead, with 8 minutes to go, you'd want to start the clock.
Tell you, I'm gonna go figure out why that isn't the case.
So we got Louis Thurston now in the pistol. Handoff coming up the left side. Tackled by Aiden Hashem. Devin Hall was the ball carrier there, number 33.
So what you've got is running time can be after the first half, but there's got to be a 35-point lead. Off by just a few. 3 points. Second and 8. Thurston hands it off. Straight up the middle.
Yeah, it's Devin Hall again. 3 yards in a cloud of dust. Needs to do it one more time.
Hang on. Yeah. Nick.
can't remember. I think it was a old Washington football player that had the quote of, if you need 2 yards, I'll get you 3. If you need 4 yards, I'll get you 3. And that seems to be Devin Hall's MO. He's just not going to go down easy, but he's going to get you that 3-4 yards that you need.
Hall took that ball that time and
got 3 yards. Yeah. So brings it to 4th and 1. He's carried 3 times, 3 yards a carry. Give it to him again. He'll get you the first down. Portland's going a little slower here, trying to burn some clock.
Evidently, they've got to do it the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, they'll keep running. Hopefully, if they can get a first down, they're going to bring this all the way down and probably call timeout.
Actually, when you think about it, how well you really have to be doing score-wise for running time. Portland has dominated this game. They've got a 40-8 lead. It's not enough.
It's not enough, and here they go. They ran the whole time off the play clock and then called timeout to discuss what they're going to do 4th and 1 from their own 19-yard line. So for all intents and purposes, they really should punt this ball, get it out. However, with the way their line has been playing, with the way they've been running the ball, they might think to go for it and just try to run this game out.
So we're back for the timeout, and the Dogs decide to try to go for it.
They're not going to snap it. They're just going to call cadence. They're going to try to draw the offsides. And call a timeout. I didn't think you could call back-to-back timeouts. Apparently you can. So now they're going to bring on the punt team. Just try to draw them off sides. You send a bunch of guys in motion. You try different cadences, a lot of fake snaps, maybe even a lineman trying to wiggle a little bit to try to draw somebody off. Apparently none of that worked. Marshwood is a well-coached team, and they didn't fall for any of those tricks.
Low snap, picked up.
Good.
Nice kick.
Good punt.
At the
clean
50.
catch at the 50.
And a nice return of about 18 yards.
Yeah, that's Ty Kogler again. The two Kogler brothers, I'm not sure which way you pronounce it, are both seniors, and they've been pretty much the focus of the Marshwood team for about 3 years now. Both of them are very, very good players.
We had a chance to talk to some of the Marshwood media, and they readily admit it's a young team this year. They've had the state championship 4 years in a row, Class B. Great defensive effort there by number 50, Colin Kelly, the sophomore. Well,
yeah, I think it was Henry Spencer that got in there. That was 53.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, 50 was walking like it was his play. And the handoff is to Goodwin. It's Cole Goodwin, number 42, a freshman, who's come in.
Yeah, there's some skill position injuries from Marshwood as well, so they're able to get freshmen some time. In a varsity game, that's pretty impressive to get him some time.
Third and 12, ball and 35. A few yards.
Yeah, Mason Foote is now the quarterback for Marshwood. Mason is a junior, 5'10". So 4th and 10 now, under center.
Way back.
Looking to pass, coming off the around the wrong way. Didn't get his body around a little bit and just threw it up there as a jump ball. That would have been okay if it were intercepted even. Gained a couple yards, but it just overthrew everybody.
The second straight series where the Dogs take over on downs. Just under 4 minutes left, folks. 40-8 is the score. The Dogs really in command from word go here tonight.
Yeah, they came out firing on all cylinders. They marched down the field, brought it to the 2-yard line and got stopped 4 times at the 2-yard line. Thought that was going to be a bad omen for them, but it really wasn't. Their defense stepped up, got a stop. Marched back down the field in the same type of manner, scored and went up quickly. Marshwood responded with that long Poe run for a touchdown, and that's all Marshwood has had all night. After that run, they haven't really had many positive plays to speak of.
Oh, nice hurdling move. And brought down out of bounds, but nice effort by Hunter Temple. He was tackled by Goodwin.
Yeah, Hunter Temple made a nice little run on the outside there and was able to hurdle for a first down. Clock is continuing to move under 4 minutes now. And Portland is not in any type of hurry to get this game over with. They just want to let this clock run. Stay in bounds. 2 hands on the ball. Whew. Up. Devin Hall for another 10 yards. So he can run more than 3 at a time.
He moves the chains.
Moves the chains, keeps the clock moving, keeps the drive alive.
1st and 10, ball on the 45. 42 for Portland checks in as well.
So 42 is we'll go with an only first name. His name is Reeve.
All right. About a 1-yard gain.
That was Devin Hall again. 2nd and 8. Traveling under 2 minutes now. A lot of these plays are just going to be runs right up the middle, right off the guard. They're going to keep 2 hands on the ball. They're not going to try to do anything fancy.
Thurston goes and gets a play, and Devin Hall will take a seat.
Victory formation. They're just going to take the knee out of shotgun. Which when you don't have an under center game, you have to do that. It's safer to try to take something out of shotgun than it is to try to take a snap under center when you're not used to it. And it's going to be 3rd and now 13 with 48 seconds to go. They just need to do this one more time, and the game will be over. And that's going to do it. 29 seconds on the clock. That's going to run out. Bulldogs come out with a very impressive win, 40-8 over the visiting Marshwood Hawks. And this game just wasn't even from the beginning. They knew that what they needed to do. They had a bad taste in their mouth from last year's loss, and they came out firing.
Folks, the players will shake hands. The officials will leave the field. The game is over 40-8, and Dave and I will be back to wrap up in one moment. So a resounding win tonight for the Dogs, 40-8. Kennedy Charles, 151 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, he was fantastic today. He really showed off what he can do with his legs. He can get out to the outside. They can run fast with him. And honestly, all 3 running backs had a fantastic game. They blocked for each other. They carried the ball. They tried misdirections. They did everything that they could. And that offensive line, boy, those kids played hard.
They really did. And you're talking, of course, about the 2 killer bees, Brewer and Buck.
Yeah.
Great games all the way around tonight.
Absolutely. They played great. And on defense, they played well. They came in and didn't let the running game get going. You had that one big, long Poe run, but that was it. They didn't let his speed really beat them. They rallied to the tackle. There was never a one-on-one play, and even your defensive backs got into the game. They got hands on the ball. They intercepted it. They just made life difficult for St. Cyr in throwing.
You know, and it just can't be overstated. Coach McLeod came into tonight's game. He knew his team was fired up. They really were fired up because of what happened last year, and boy, did they pour it on tonight. A great victory for the Portland Bulldogs. This is Steve Schwartz along with Dave Levine for Mike Hoffer saying so long from Fitzpatrick Stadium, where tonight the Portland Bulldogs defeat the Marshwood Hawks 40-8. Good night.